My name is Dodie Callender. I would like to talk to you today about obesity in the town of Pahrump, located in Nye County, Nevada. I will also be talking about a potential community action plan to help resolve some of the issues that lead to obesity in adults and to create an overall healthy community for the town of Pahrump. Data from the Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Analytics, breaks down statistics by Assembly District. Assembly District 36 comprises most of Nye County and parts of Clark and Lincoln counties. In 2019, Pahrump accounted for 85% of the population of Nye County. The illustration shown in Figure 1 is a representation of Assembly District 36. The left-hand illustration shows the state of Nevada with Assembly District 36 highlighted in orange. The second illustration has an outline of Nye County in black, and the third illustration shows the distribution of the portions of counties that are in the Assembly District. .4% of the population of Pahrump is overweight or obese. This is slightly less than the state of Nevada at 66.5%. It is the most common chronic health condition. The second most common chronic health condition is smoking at 13.7%. The rate of obesity affects more than half of the population of Pahrump. The most common cause of death in Pahrump and the state of Nevada is heart disease. Out of the 10 most common causes of death, 5 are affected by obesity. Obesity is directly linked to heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. Obesity also causes more complications in COVID-19, influenza, and pneumonia. Obesity is a modifiable risk factor for all of these health conditions. 49% of the population of Pahrump are adults of working age. However, 16.9% of the population under 65 is disabled. 29% of the population are minorities. Pahrump is considered a frontier community, as is all of Nye County. Frontier communities have less access to services than cities or rural communities, which increases the disparities for traditionally underserved populations. Additionally, almost 13% of the population does not have health insurance, while almost 15% lives in poverty. Frontier communities often do not have the public transportation seen in more populated cities, making a vehicle a necessity. Pahrump has no public transportation. Disabled and elderly living on fixed incomes may have difficulty maintaining or driving a vehicle, and the weather in Nye County is often harsh, making walking or riding a bicycle difficult. The lack of public transportation leads to a lack of availability to access services. Although obesity has steadily risen since the 1920s, the increase has accelerated in the last 40 years. The cause of obesity is complicated and has many moving parts. It is thought that the two main factors that impact the obesity epidemic are how food is marketed and the fact that there is less emphasis on physical activity in schools and places of employment. COVID-19 didn't help the obesity epidemic because everybody was mandated to shelter in place at home unless absolutely necessary. Shortages of supplies and food led to additional food insecurity, which led to the hoarding of food and supplies, creating a vicious circle of hoarding and shortages. The first step in developing a strategy to improve the rate of obesity is to partner with community resources. A large influence in the community is Nye Communities Coalition. They are part of AmeriCorps, a volunteer organization dedicated to bringing communities out of poverty. They sponsor many activities in Nye County to address the health and well-being of citizens. They offer a food pantry, job placement assistance, a community closet for business attire, interviewing and resume writing workshops, grant writing workshops, mobility and transportation assistance, wellness classes, smoke cessation, and diabetes classes. They are invested in the community's success, health, and safety. They have a facility located centrally in Pahrump. The next step is to get the community involved. Flyers could be posted at all businesses. Healthcare practices would also have flyers posted and flyers available for the public to take home. Public service announcements could be obtained from local television and radio stations. Announcements and press releases could be published in the newspaper. School newsletters and communications with parents could include the announcement of the intention to start community gardens and places for safe, comfortable physical activity. Owners of billboards could be contacted for donations when billboards are not in use. The University of Nevada, Reno, UNR, has a satellite location with a community garden located in the southern part of town. Tractor Supply offers their parking lot every Saturday morning for a farmer's market that UNR sponsors. State Assemblyperson Haffen is responsible for Assembly District 36. He would be able to assist in getting permission to use County or Bureau of Land Management, BLM, land for additional community gardens. The idea is to make the community gardens as local to neighborhoods as possible. Reaching out to businesses in the community such as Home Depot or Ace Hardware could help supply necessary tools and equipment. Several places in Pahrump could partner to assist in creating safe, climate-controlled places for physical activity. Nye Communities Coalition has a large space that they already use for community activities, and they have already partnered with the Senior Citizen Center and Great Basin College for wellness activities at those sites. The Senior Citizen Center is located in northern Pahrump, and Great Basin College is located towards the south. The community has several community parks, one of which has a community center at Petrack Park. Petrack Park is on the north side of town. Valley Electric has a large assembly hall, and they are centrally located in town. Valley Electric has had some difficulties with its reputation in the past few years, so allowing access to their meeting room for a safe, climate-controlled exercise area would benefit its reputation in town. Nye Communities Coalition has applied for a grant from the Nevada Department of Transportation to increase transportation services in Nye, Esmeralda, and Lincoln counties. This grant will increase access to transportation for the entire community. An economical way to provide transportation would be to contract with the school district to use the buses and drivers when they are not actively transporting students. Currently, Nye Communities Coalition offers free transportation for veterans, including transportation to Las Vegas for medical reasons. This transportation could be expanded to include transportation to and from community gardens and activity facilities. Carpools could be created to increase access to the community gardens and physical activity sites. Current volunteers at the coalition could be asked if they would also volunteer to provide transportation. The development of a team of specifically tasked people to find sources of funding, land, equipment, and supplies would be a necessity. Nye Communities Coalition offers grant writing classes. Partnering for grant writing and assistance in locating grants would start there. Reaching out to Assemblyperson Haffen for assistance in creating agreements with BLM and for using any district, county, or state vacant land for gardens would also be done. Landowners with unused vacant land could be contacted and asked if they would be willing to allow use for a community garden until they decide to develop the property. Donations could include money, supplies, equipment, or even time for those knowledgeable about gardening for the purposes of growing food. Donations of supplies and equipment from businesses in Pahrump in exchange for a sign at the gardens acknowledging the donation would be a good way to get businesses involved in our community gardens as well. Thank you.